Our channel always brings dramatic stories, shocking secrets, and unpredictable developments that leave viewers breathless. Today, we will take you to one of the most shocking moments, where a secret that seemed to be buried forever is suddenly exposed, turning the lives of all the characters upside down. It all started when Anita and Vernon were enjoying a peaceful afternoon in their luxurious villa when Peaches appeared, bringing with her a dark truth that could tear apart everything this family had ever believed in. With a trembling but determined voice, Peaches revealed that Leslie, the young girl that the two had once considered an outsider, was actually the lost daughter they had been searching for all this time. The news was like a thunderbolt that left Anita almost unable to breathe. Her heart stopped beating for a moment. Vernon stood there, eyes wide open, staring at Peaches as if searching for a loophole in her words. They had been through so much loss, so much pain, but never had they been prepared to accept a truth like this. Leslie, whom they had kept at a distance, whom they had doubted, now turned out to have their blood in her veins. Old memories rushed back like a storm, drowning Anita in pain and guilt, as she recalled the tragic time when her little daughter disappeared without a trace, leaving her with a wound that would never heal. When the truth was revealed, a series of unanswered questions immediately enveloped her. Why did Peaches know this secret? Why did she choose this moment to reveal it? And most importantly, why did Leslie have to live her whole life as a stranger while her biological parents still existed? Every detail that seemed to have been forgotten in the past began to be evoked, every piece of an old mystery was put back in place, and the picture appeared before Anita and Vernon's eyes, making them both unable to believe it. Anita fell into a state of panic when she realized that all these years, her daughter had been present right next to her, but the invisible distance and prejudices had prevented her from realizing the truth. Vernon was torn, both happy to know that Leslie was alive, and haunted by resentment towards those who had hidden this, turning the family's life into a long-lasting tragedy. Meanwhile, Leslie was completely unaware of the shocking secret that was gradually being revealed. She still lived in her own obsessions, mental wounds that had never been healed, not expecting that her true identity could cause everything to collapse. Peaches, with her cold eyes, did not simply bring this news as a sympathy, but seemed to have a deeper purpose. That woman held important pieces, but she chose to expose them bit by bit, as if manipulating the fate of this family. The truth that Peaches brought was not simply a reunion, but also brought along a series of conspiracies, hatreds, and scars from the past that Anita and Vernon had tried to bury. From that moment on, the Dupree family's already calculating life became even more chaotic. Anita had to face a tormenting sense of guilt, Vernon was forced to face difficult decisions related to honor and power, and Leslie, upon learning the truth, would be pushed into an emotional storm of love, resentment, and self-doubt. Not only that, the dark forces that have been targeting this family now have another trump card, when Leslie's identity becomes a weapon that can be used to break the entire fragile balance. What seemed like a moment of reunion turns out to be the beginning of a new series of tragedies. This truth not only affects Anita, Vernon, and Leslie, but also changes the fate of everyone around them. Those who once hid this secret will certainly not sit still, seemingly strong relationships will crack, and fragile trust will crumble under the weight of lies and betrayal. But the most terrible thing is not that Leslie is a lost daughter, but the reason behind her disappearance all those years ago. Who robbed her of her childhood, who built the curtain of concealment for so many years, and why is the truth being revealed now? These questions will lead Anita and Vernon on a dark journey, where each truth revealed brings with it another layer of tragedy. And then, when it seems that they can no longer bear it, another shock is about to strike, an even more devastating truth is waiting ahead, ready to change everything forever. What will happen when Leslie discovers her true identity, and how will she react to the biological parents who missed out on so many years of her life? After Peaches left, the mansion was filled with a suffocating atmosphere. Anita sat motionless on the sofa, her trembling hands covering her face, tears streaming down her face. She didn't know what to believe anymore. Peaches' every word was like a knife cutting deep into her mind, bringing back the most painful memories that she had buried for decades. In Anita's memory, the day Leslie disappeared was still as clear as an unhealed wound. It was that foggy morning when the child's cries suddenly stopped and the house fell into panic. The whole family searched desperately, the police were called, but all clues fell into a dead end. That loss left Anita with a deep pit of despair, causing her to live in torment for many years, believing that her daughter no longer existed in this world. Vernon was different. He tried to keep a tough exterior but inside was a storm. He remembered every detail of the years he spent searching for Leslie, remembered every promise he made not to give up, but also remembered the helplessness as time passed and all hope gradually faded. He had advised Anita to accept reality, to try to live on, but deep down in his heart he had never stopped hoping. And now, that hope returned in the form of a cruel shock. Leslie was still alive, but had grown up in a strange place, carrying scars in her heart that her biological parents could not compensate for. Neither of them knew how to face Leslie. The truth being revealed meant they would have to confess their pain, their losses, and their past mistakes. Anita feared that her daughter would resent them, would see them as the ones who abandoned her, while Vernon was worried that this truth would become a weapon in the hands of the enemy, because the reputation and power of the Dupree family had always been under scrutiny. Leslie's true identity was not only a family affair, but also a key that could change the entire balance in the underground battles that this family was participating in. Peaches seemed to have carefully calculated when releasing this secret at this time. That woman did not act out of kindness, but perhaps was serving a greater purpose. By forcing Anita and Vernon to face the truth about Leslie, Peaches dropped a bomb in the middle of the family, forcing everyone to reveal the weaknesses and cracks that they had long tried to hide. And then, as a matter of course, those who were lurking outside would quickly realize the golden opportunity to get in. While Anita and Vernon were still struggling with the shock, Leslie was still unaware of the terrible truth that awaited her. She lived in a whirlwind of contradictions, always feeling like she didn't really belong anywhere, but never suspected that the blood in her body had a hidden origin. When the truth reached her ears, it would surely shatter her already fragile world, pushing her into an unprecedented personal crisis. Will she choose to forgive to find her family, or will she fall into a spiral of hatred for the years of her stolen childhood? That night, Anita couldn't sleep. She walked out onto the balcony and looked into the distance, her heart heavy. In the darkness, she saw Leslie's image as a child, her innocent smile and bright eyes that had been her source of life. She wondered if fate was teasing her, and when the truth was revealed, all that remained was pain. Vernon appeared behind her, placing his hand on her shoulder, but he said nothing. Both of them understood that, from this moment on, their lives would never be the same again. The truth about Leslie was not just a family secret, but also the trigger for a series of events ahead. Because behind the disappearance of the past was not a random incident, but the result of a sophisticated dark conspiracy. Those standing in the dark certainly would not want the truth to be exposed, and Peach's revelation was just the beginning of a new nightmare. Everything was about to get out of control, and no one could predict what tragedy would happen next. The story had just begun, and the layers of secrets still covered were waiting to be revealed. Will Anita and Vernon be able to protect Leslie when the truth reaches her ears, or will this family itself fall apart under the weight of the past? What forces are lurking behind the scenes, and what is Peach's true purpose? Stay tuned for more shocking, dramatic, and breathtaking developments, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any shocking details in this story.